Hello everyone. Let's subscribe to Relationship Stories before we forget. You won't want to miss what's coming up next.
After my wife and I obtained our marriage license, she staged fake photos of me with another woman on our wedding day. She accused me of infidelity, demanding that I leave with nothing and hand over the company I founded to her first love. I smiled and agreed immediately. The guests were shocked, thinking I had lost my mind, but I knew the company was already in a state of loss. Only I knew how to save it. Without me, they would face enormous debt and possible imprisonment. On our wedding day, my wife, Emily, stormed up to me, furious. Before I could speak, she threw a stack of photos in my face. I was bewildered, waiting for the wedding to start. What was happening? Emily's first love, Jack, arrived with a group of bridesmaids. I looked at them with a furrowed brow. "Emily, what's going on?" I asked. Jack grabbed my collar and pulled me to the ground. He pointed at me, sneering.
"You shameless bastard! You betrayed Emily!"
I was dumbfounded. As an honest man, I couldn't comprehend such accusations. Emily looked at me with disdain and coldly said,
"John, what else do you have to say? If I hadn't discovered these photos, how long would you have kept this from me?"
The commotion drew the attention of the guests around us.
Oh my God, what's happening over there?
Aren't they the bride and groom? What's going on?
I heard the bride say the groom had cheated on her.
People like you, who casually toy with others' feelings, deserve to go to hell. You don't deserve Emily. You're not fit to marry her.
John, if I hadn't found these photos, I wouldn't have known what kind of person you are.
I glanced at the stack of photos, frowning. I had never done such things, and upon closer inspection, it was clear the photos were AI generated. Why couldn't they see through it? I denied the photos were real, but no one believed me. I looked at Emily, speaking calmly. "Emily, we're getting married. Do you really believe the person in these photos is me?" Jack mocked me.
The evidence is right here. What more can you say? Are you trying to have your cake and eat it too? You! Disgusting!
Such scum of society should be thrown into the sea to feed the fish.
No, that's too lenient. He should swallow 1,000 silver needles to taste the consequences of betrayal.
Just give the company to Jack, and I won't hold this against you.
I was shocked. She actually wanted me to give away the company I had worked so hard to build? Before I could speak, Emily sneered at the wedding decorations and said,
The setup is so nice. No wonder you had money to meet someone else.
I shook my head, choking back my emotions. "Emily, you know me best. I didn't meet with another woman." "Really?" Emily turned to the crowd, tears streaming down her face.
But the evidence is right here. I'm also very sad. Today is our wedding day, and I can't forgive you for this.
The bridesmaids grew more enraged. One with short black hair spoke indignantly.
"You scumbag. You don't deserve Emily's forgiveness."
Saying this, she kicked me in the leg. The other bridesmaids, fueled by emotion, joined in, kicking me in the thigh.
So disgusting. How can a scumbag like this still be alive?
He seemed okay before, but now he's cheating outside.
I didn't resist. I had recently undergone surgery and was weak. After being beaten, I coughed lightly. Jack sneered.
John, are you suffering from some kind of mental illness? Meeting with other women, and you still have the nerve to be here? Where did you get the guts to be so brazen?
Nowadays, there are all kinds of people. What a disgusting man, dressed well but scum inside.
Jack ordered the bridesmaids to smash the wedding decorations. The sound of breaking items filled the air. The once meticulously prepared wedding was now a mess resembling a wasteland.
The money's already been paid. This was all for me. It's not illegal to destroy my own things.
Seeing her triumphant expression, I felt a pang of disappointment. Jack slapped me across the face and mocked.
A despicable person like you doesn't deserve to be near Emily. I advise you to leave her quickly, or I won't be polite.
I stood up slowly, feeling the sting on my face from Jack's slap. My heart was heavy, not from the physical pain, but from the betrayal unfolding before me. The woman I had loved, the one I was about to marry, had turned the entire event into a spectacle. Emily, are you really doing this? All of this over a few fake photos? She didn't meet my eyes, her expression cold and distant. Jack stood beside her, triumphant, his arm possessively around her waist. The guests were still watching, their whispers growing louder as they questioned what was happening. Some guest commented, "I can't believe this. A wedding turning into a disaster." And another, "I don't know how she found out, but it looks like he deserves it." Emily finally turned toward me, her voice full of venom. Some guest commented, "I can't believe this. A wedding turning into a disaster." And another, "I don't know how she found out, but it looks like he deserves it." Emily finally turned toward me, her voice full of venom.
You're a liar, John. I don't care how long you've been pretending, but I've had enough. If you walk away quietly and sign over the company, we can forget this ever happened.
I looked at her, shocked by how easily she was willing to throw away everything we had built together. The company I founded had been my life's work, something I had spent years growing. And she wanted to hand it over to Jack, her first love, just like that? The company? You want me to just give it to Jack? Do you even hear yourself, Emily? Jack smirked, stepping forward with arrogance.
It's a fair trade, John. You messed up. Now it's time to pay up. Hand over the company and leave quietly, and maybe I won't ruin your reputation any further.
I felt the weight of everyone's eyes on me, their judgment heavy in the air. The guests had come to celebrate a wedding, but now they were watching a scene of betrayal and manipulation. And despite the absurdity of the situation, I couldn't help but feel calm. "Fine," I said, surprising everyone. "You can have the company." A collective gasp swept through the crowd. They thought I had lost my mind. Emily's eyes widened in shock, and even Jack hesitated, unsure if he had heard me correctly.
Wait, what? You're agreeing to this?
"Yes," I replied calmly. "Take it. Take the company, the decorations, everything you want." I smiled, knowing something they didn't. The company was in dire straits. What Emily and Jack didn't realize was that without me, they would be left with nothing but debt, legal issues, and potential lawsuits. They had no idea what was about to hit them. Emily's smug expression returned as she took my agreement as a sign of weakness.
Well, it's about time you made a sensible decision, John. You should have known better than to cross me.
Jack grinned, pulling Emily closer to him.
Now that we've settled that, you can leave. Don't worry, John, I'll take good care of Emily and the company.
I watched them, knowing full well they were walking into a disaster. But I didn't care. I had done everything I could for the company, and without me, it was doomed to fail. I'll leave. But remember this, Emily, betrayal comes with consequences. I hope you're prepared for what's coming. I turned and walked away, leaving the wrecked wedding behind me. The guests were still buzzing with gossip, and I could feel their judgment burning into my back. But I didn't care. I had made my decision, and now it was time for Emily and Jack to deal with the fallout. Days turned into weeks, and as expected, Emily and Jack struggled to keep the company afloat. They had no idea how to handle the financial instability or the complex deals I had been managing behind the scenes. Lawsuits began piling up, and creditors started calling. The weight of the company's debt was overwhelming, and soon enough, they were drowning in it. I watched from a distance as their grand plans crumbled. Emily had thought she could take everything from me, but now she was realizing just how much she had underestimated the situation. Jack, who had once been so confident, was now scrambling to fix the mess they were in. This is what happens when you betray someone who trusted you, I thought, watching their downfall unfold. Emily eventually reached out, trying to salvage what was left of her reputation. She wanted to talk, to see if there was any way I could help fix the situation. But I was done. The woman I had loved had turned her back on me, and I had no interest in helping her now. Betrayal always comes with a price, and Emily was learning that the hard way. The wedding that was supposed to mark the beginning of a new chapter in our lives had instead become the end of everything we had built together. And as for Jack, he was left with nothing, no company, no fortune, and no future with Emily. As I moved on with my life, I couldn't help but feel a sense of closure. The people who had tried to bring me down had failed, and now they were dealing with the consequences of their actions. Betrayal might have ruined the wedding, but in the end, it was Emily and Jack who paid the ultimate price.
That's the story I've shared with you today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to check out my playlist for more similar stories.